Hello, folks. I just arrived home today from Toronto. I was there for a week. I was there for Frightmare in the Falls and connect with a few people, especially Lisa Langlois, who most of you would know from the movie Class of 1984. I now know her now as a close friend, and I went down to use some of my scene points from Cineplex. We went to a couple films and went around, hung out. It was fun. Saw last night in Soho. We saw The French Dispatch, and I showed her The Big Lebowski, which you'd never seen before. But Lisa taught me a lot about improving my brand. There's still a lot to learn because I'm the only one in my family who's ever been on a plane, so this is all because of Lisa. And one of the things she told me to do is get business cards done up. And I got my business card changed around, but there's my new business card. There you go. I like that. Highlights the python. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the stuff I got from Frightmare in the Falls. And I'm going to start with Blood Opera. Actually, I'll start with Ryan Brown. I was supposed to get a shirt from him, and he wasn't around whenever I went to do that, and because he's off and on. He did a lot of. He's a great magician. Ever get a chance to see him? But Ryan treated me out to dinner on the 29th, that Friday when they had the event, because tickets.com didn't issue my tickets, despite the fact I paid for VIP. So Ryan worked his magic and made my night all the better because he treated me out. We went to Friday, so thank you, Ryan Brown. I went there also to see Blood Opera, a band. I've interviewed them twice, on the show, and on their live streams, I connected them with Lynn Griffin for their Black Christmas special, and for prom night, I connected them with Paul Lynch, and so I got this T-shirt. Look at that, Blood Opera. Put it in there close. There you go. Yeah, love these guys. And speaking of T-shirts, here's my Frightmare in the Falls VIP right there. Here you go. And I got the T-shirt. Step back a little bit. There you go, folks. The Frightmare in the Falls T-shirt. This is my first Frightmare in the Falls. I've had James Ponce, one of the promoters, on the show. And yeah. So, I ran into Louis Serraz of Suspect Video. He's been a guest a couple times on the show, and he, of course, he along with Chris Alexander, the ones that front Horrorama. And Suspect Video had a booth there, and I remember when I saw them at the Comic-Con back in 2019, I bought Graduation Day from him. I think that was what I bought from him. So I bought Dario Argento's Phenomena with the gorgeous Jennifer Connelly. So I bought that Blu-ray. Yeah, stick it on there. Yeah, $45. Pricey, but I like giving Louis a little bit of business when I'm there, and seeing him. So I got that Blu-ray. I'm working on these alphabetically so I don't get confused. I have had Allie Chappell on the show back in February, and she was awesome. She's beautiful. Chris Alexander's had her in a few films. I've known her since 2017 when she worked down in the special Halloween coffee section down there. And she's become quite a fixture in Chris's films. I had her on, she talked about Necropolis Legion, and she was at the event dressed in her Necropolis Legion outfit. And if you've seen that, that is some crazy. But I got a couple pictures signed by her. This one says, "Fuck yeah, Greg." Allie. I remember this scene in the movie. Allie Chapel, right there, yes. Allie was a fun interview. I got to have her back on next year. I'm putting her on my list for next year. And this was also a great picture right here. It says, "Hey Greg, thanks for having me on your pod." Allie Chapel. There you go. Here's a great pic from Necropolis Legion. Allie Chapel. There you go. This is a great picture. I like her in that. So this is the first time I've seen Allie have a booth, you know. So, and she was in full costume, which she wasn't the only one in full costume. I went back to her booth later because I'd said to her, I said, "When are you guys gonna show me where the Blu-ray for Space Vampire is?" Chris Alexander directed that. And well, she had some on her table. So I grabbed him, got an extra autograph. "Hey Greg, stay spooky. Space Vampire on Blu-ray." There you go, look at that. Great cover, it's directed by Chris Alexander. There's Allie Chapel on the back. So yeah, got a nice signature of hers on there. Yeah, Allie I had on for 3 hours back in February, and she's one of these people, she knows, I like how she moves her body when she talks, you know, very articulate. She's a lot of fun, so. Next on the list. Now, I wasn't going to meet everybody. There were a few no-shows. You know, Lou Ferrigno, I guess, had a film shoot which came into conflict with the event, so he was a no-show. Miko Hughes had to cancel. Linnea Quigley, I heard, canceled because she wasn't vaccinated, I guess. Michael Berryman ended up canceling. I've met Linnea before, and I've had her on the show. Michael Berryman, I wouldn't have minded meeting. And Russ Marquand, I think from Fear the Walking Dead or Walking Dead, one of those. I don't follow that. And I showed up at the event, and Christina Lease, I don't know what happened to her. I bought Child's Play 2 on Blu-ray just to get her to sign it, but she was a no-show. I don't know what the story is there, but anyway, I made best of, you know, I got Allie Chapel, and she was awesome at Blood Opera, and Ryan Brown, and Kim Coates. Little Sons of Anarchy there. I don't watch that show, but this is just a great photo. Unfortunately, he's in one of the worst movies I ever seen, which is Pearl Harbor. Every copy of that film should be burned, but that's not his fault. It says, "To Greg, peace." Kim Coates. Here's the interesting story about Kim Coates is he and Lisa are both under the same agency, and Lisa had contacted me and told me to say hello to him. And Lisa was surprised, and I reported that Kim knew who she was, and he was had a lot of nice things to say about Lisa. So it's a great shot of him right there. So there you go, Sons of Anarchy, Kim Coates. Next up, I did not get a picture with this guy. I guess he was only doing pictures with for the photo ops. But I did meet Ken Furry. I wish I had Dawn of the Dead on Blu-ray. I could have got him to sign that, but no such luck. But this says, "To Greg, scary isn't it?" Ken Furry. Very nice guy. I'm hoping to get him on my show. very soon. He seemed very interested, and chatted with him for a few moments. Did not get a picture with him. Again, I think it was just photo ops, but it's a nice picture. That's from Dawn of the Dead, of course, which is one of the great zombie films. And he's one of the reasons it's a great zombie film. Next, it is C.J. Graham. Here's my story for C.J. Graham. We're both part of 13 Fanboy. I'm a co-producer on 13 Fanboy, and C.J. Graham is in the movie. And I love his knockout, drag-out fight with the Fanboy, you know. It's so awesome. And I talked to him about that. He hadn't seen 13 Fanboy when I spoke to him about it. But one thing I did do is I'm good friends with Nancy McLaughlin, who played Lisbeth in Jason Lives, and I called her. She picked up, and I put her on speakerphone when I went up and met C.J. Graham, and they chatted for about 5 minutes. And he asked her about her kids and this and that, and she encouraged him to do my podcast, which I think he's going to, especially with 13 Fanboy. But I got a couple things signed by him, you know. Jason Lives, C.J. Graham, Jason Part 6. I got this one. I could have landed a lot of them from his table, but I like this shot of the RV kill, you know, and tipped over. So I got him to sign that. You know. CJ was a very nice guy. He was one of 2 Jasons there. And I've interviewed Ted White twice, who's my favorite Jason, I gotta say, evidently. And I've had Vincent DeSante on as well a couple times. Now, I got this signed. This is my Blu-ray for Jason Lives out of the box set I brought with me. And again, C.J. Graham, Jason, Part 6. I guess it says 18 kills. Is it? Don't think so. Look at that. There you go. I got that signed, my Blu-ray for 13 Fanboy. There you go. That was fun. So, next up was my second Jason, Ken Kurtzenzer. To Greg, stick around. Ken Kurtzenzer, Jason, Freddy versus Jason. Freddy versus Jason. This is the picture I went with. I like that shot, so I got him to sign that picture right there. And he is a nice guy. I'm gonna try to have him on the show. I've interviewed Zach Ward, who was in Freddy vs. Jason. Of course, I know him best from Postal and Christmas Story, but he's featured in Freddy vs. Jason briefly. And I got him to sign my Freddy vs. Jason Blu-ray from the box set. So I got a couple things signed there. And then on for Nora Pictures. Well, this has never happened to me in a con before, somebody signing for free. Well, Mitch Markowitz of the hilarious House of Frightenstein was doing just that. I got this signed. It says, "To Mr. Podcast." Super scary. Markowitz. There you go. Him on the phone. Important dude. And I got this one signed too. Super hippie. To Greg. Super hippie. Yeah. I guess I'm going to have to get him on the show. I remember that show too. They had some rare stuff there people could purchase, but to say I was on a budget and I went well over it is an understatement. Next, Wednesday Addams herself. To Greg, love Lisa Loring, Wednesday. This is the original Wednesday Addams. Boy, she looks great in that picture. I love the shirt she's got on, her hair, and that green background, greenish blue background. So there you go. I got that signed. But I had to get one of her Wednesday Addams signed too. And this one says, to Greg, love Lisa Loring, Wednesday. And of course there she is as Wednesday Addams. Got that little picture there signed. Very, very nice. And to follow that up, Lyndon Porco from Leprechaun 2, to Greg. Lyndon Porco, I want me gold. He was outside while Ryan and I were hanging out. Ryan was having a smoke. I don't smoke, but one of the promoters and Lyndon Porco were outside the embassy hotel and having a smoke. And yeah, Lyndon is quite a character. So I got him to sign that, and I want me gold. And he's one of the leprechauns, so very nice fellow. Felissa Rose, to Greg. Meet me at the water. I don't know. After the social. That must be a quote from Sleepaway Camp. Felissa Rose, Angela. Felissa Rose had the busiest line all weekend. She constantly had a line. It's a good thing I had the VIP. I could get it up there, but I showed her the Doubtfire Face challenge that Sandy Johnson did, where she nominated her, and she looks at her handler and says, "I'm going to take a pie in the face." And she loves Sandy Johnson, so she's on board to do the Doubtfire Face challenge. And I'd mentioned that I was a co-producer or associate producer on It Wants Blood with James Balsamo, and she loves James. And I mentioned my involvement with The Dead End, which had her and Dave Sheridan in. And she also did something really cool. I mentioned that I got my younger brother Andrew, my manager, an autographed picture, and I mentioned that he's taking care of her folks. And she is so cool. She did a video shout out for my brother, and I thought that was so awesome. She really knows how to handle herself at these cons. She gave everybody a big hug. I got a picture with her arms wrapped right around me and mine around her. It's just cool, you know, like every time I see this movie, it's like I hugged Angela. Yeah, this was a nice picture, and she did a nice little video shout out. She is such a kind and considerate woman, and she's going to do my show. But I also got this signed as well. I had so many discs with me, I didn't bring It Wants Blood or anything like that, but this one says, to Greg, let's go swimming, Felissa Rose. I don't think there's anything signed in there, nope. But, so I got that signed, Felissa Rose. Next, Dave Sheridan. He was Special Officer Doofy in Scary Movie. I got a really cool picture signed for my brother by him, and when he found out that I was a co-producer, associate producer on The Dead End, he looks at me and says, "You're my boss," and he gets Felissa Rose's attention, who's sitting right beside him, and says, "Hey Felissa, this is our boss." Anyway, I was trying to talk them into doing a Doofy Angela crossover. But this one here, I got this sign. It says, "I go poopy Doofy, Dave Sheridan." But that's not it. You see, his handler was talking about the fact that you're not going to see this very well, but there is a signature that this side here is in French. And so his handler looked in I go poopy in French. And so he signed his name, but he signed I go poopy in French on the back of this. I think that is pretty funny. I'll take it up and show it, sure. Why not? I go poopy in French. And there it is in English. Oh, pretty funny. And then the last person I met, ooh, she's so gorgeous. Laura Vandervoort. I got her to sign Ted. I said I had her scariest movie. To Greg, Laura Vandervoort. I got her to sign Ted. I love Ted. So I got her to sign that. And she agrees it's one of her scariest movies. And I got a few things here signed by her. These buttons were being given out free. And she is so beautiful. And sign this to Greg, Laura Vandervoort. Wow. An incredibly beautiful woman. And she also did a shout out for me as well. I got that signed. And I got this one. Supergirl was never as pretty as Laura Vandervoort. And this. Look at that. There are those hounds, wolves. Yeah. Bitten. She is absolutely stunning. And I had to meet her. Now, I'm going to end this off by celebrating my friendship with Lisa Langlois, because like I said, I would not be doing these conventions if she hadn't invited me in the first place. And she and I went around to the t-shirt places, and I got this mask done. It says Elizabeth Taylor. Why? Why? I got that mask done. And I got this done too. She got one done and I got one done. That's Lisa in class of 1984 as Patsy. And I got that done up. But it didn't stop there. You see, my birthday's in July. And I didn't really get to celebrate it because of the pandemic, and it kind of sucked. I turned 49, and people on Facebook were acknowledging it, but no cake or anything for me. And on my last night in Toronto, I got a surprise. Lisa and her friend Andrea surprised me with a cake, a little cake, and Lisa had got me some gifts, and I thought this was so nice. And this here's never seen one of these before. This is an inflatable water bottle. It's like plastic. You fill it up with water. I could take this to work with me or whatnot. And so it's instructions and stuff. I'd never seen one of these before. So she always thinks outside the box about when she gets gifts for people. She got me one of these to put my my plug in for my phone, my charger. I always put it in my side piece, but you know what? This is great. I'll use this. So she got me one of these, which I thought was really cool. And she got me one of these chargers, battery pack chargers. I could also use for my phone, which I thought was really, really cool. And you got me one of these. This is to put my phone on. It's a little stand thing. Put my phone on. And since she knows I have a kitty, she got me the Skittles package. Cat trivia. And I got a nice little card. It says, give it another try, this time without the hairball. Yeah. This says, hope this birthday is easy to swallow. Hope you celebrated all that's wonderful about you, Lisa. So Lisa's me a card for my birthday. And that about wraps it up, folks. That about wraps it up. That was my first Frightmare in the Falls, and it was a blast. I gotta say, it was awesome. So here's looking for hopefully Horrorama 2022, and maybe another Frightmare in the Falls. So folks, I'm signing out. I gotta go to work tonight.